Welcome to CPS360. I'm Matthew Rothermick.
And I'm Olivia Storrington. We've got a great show in store for you today. First up is a feature on the homecoming queen. Faith Wright brings us the story.
Sydney Kent, a Rockbridge cheerleader, defies the odds by not letting her disability of Down syndrome stop her. Fellow teammate Sarah Hollinger loves having Sydney on the cheer squad.
My favorite thing about her is probably just cheering alongside of her because she's so happy, and I always like to feel that aura of her happiness around me.
Kent was nominated for Homecoming Queen and had mixed emotions when she heard the news.
I feel a little nervous at first, but then really excited.
Sydney's nomination has impacted her family greatly, and the support she has received gets her mom emotional.
And I think this is bigger than Sid, this is bigger than us, and it's not just an honor for her, but it's an opportunity for the whole community to kind of expand their awareness and inclusion. And I think it's good for the kids, it's good for the parents, and we're really honored.
She has a truly amazing and uplifting spirit with other characteristics that make people love her.
I'm kind. I'm respectful. I'm responsible. And I'm also loving to my family.
The time we had all been waiting for had come to announce the winner. She jumped for joy when her name was exclaimed over the speakers. Sydney Kent, your new 2018 Rockbridge Homecoming Queen. Her teammates ran onto the field to hug and congratulate her. Happiness filled the stadium and tears of joy were shed. This was one night Sydney Kent will never forget.
Nice story, Faith. Up next, we go outdoors as Brandon Eggerdine covered the experience that is Ag Day.
Every year, students from Rockbridge High School gather around outside to experience the vast wonders of Ag Day by looking at all the animals or just simply enjoying the beautiful September weather. But the significance of Ag Day is much deeper than this.
Almost all of these exhibits are student that go to Rockbridge or Columbia Public Schools projects, with a few exceptions, but we're trying just to promote awareness of agriculture in our school community.
Ag Day isn't just a one-day thing where people bring in animals just on the spot, but much more preparation goes into it than meets the eye.
We start as soon as school starts in the fall, and we meet and we kind of problem solve and brainstorm.
Quite a bit. You gotta register your animals in with Mr. Duncan and get the pens up and bring all the stuff that you need to take care of them.
Students, teachers, and FFA members all enjoy Ag Day to the absolute fullest, but there's always that one thing that is their absolute favorite.
Experiencing the environment and looking at all the cool exotic animals.
Watching the students bring their own projects in and how they will talk and interact with their classmates and promote it and talk to them about it, etc.
Ag Day isn't just a day to look at the animals or to get out of class. Ag Day has a much more significant meaning behind it. It gives kids who aren't around the agricultural field an insight to the world of agriculture. I'm Brandon Eggerding, reporting for CPS.
Every year at Ag Day always brings a new experience. Good job, Brandon. Moving from the world of agriculture to the world of music, Mary Grace steps on the field with Battle High Marching Band.
In a school trying to develop strong programs, one particular activity is trying to make a name for itself, the Battle High School Band. For years, the band has been rising to the challenge to add a new flair to their sound, and this year, they seem to have perfected it. I got a chance to sit down with the band director, Robert Dowhuber, and Kim Foley to talk about the challenges of building the band.
Called The Voice of One, and it's completely different than any of the shows that we've done. We've done a lot of shows about like ancient cultures. We were sort of on an ancient culture kick, so this is more of a relatively newer, what's what I'm looking for? A newer approach for the school, for what when we start picking up music, it's usually like November, December, we start listening, and then we start to try to think about what type of students that we're going to have, what our instrumentation is going to be like. Are we going to have a lot of low brass? Are we going to have 40 flutes? Are we going to have 80 tubas, and then we have to sort of, put those pieces together and sort of think about what we have in talent level and instrumentation before we start trying to pick out the type of show and the music that we're going to have.
And I think we also think of the interest, what kind of show will interest our students, so then they have a buy-in and they want to put forth the effort to perform what we're asking them to do.
I think all the bands have been doing well. From even the first year, they've been doing remarkable things and sort of blowing our expectations all the water. And then what that sort of does is the following year, we're like, okay, well, we asked the students to do X, and they did X plus some. And so the next year, we try to say, okay, we're going to start at X plus some and then add more to that, if that makes sense. So every year, we're sort of trying to up the ante with what we're asking them to do, just because the program itself is, I think, maturing from where we started.
And, the incoming freshmen this year have added a ton to our program. They just have caught on to our concepts, and that also helps us add extra stuff throughout our season, is just how hard they're working out on the field and the ability of these particular students that we work with.
Try not to stress the competitive side of it. I mean, it's nice to win. It's nice to bring home trophies. But we try to approach it sort of like a golf game. It's not about what other people do. It's about what we do. And so, they know when they go out there and they don't perform well, if either they, had a tear and, half the band was playing with one tempo and the other half the band was playing a different tempo, or they know if they just weren't putting 100% into it. Or on the flip side, they know if they went out there and they played the best show that they have ever played, or if they met the expectations that we presented to them. And so we try to de-emphasize who is at the competition and who we're competing against, and say more, what have we asked you to do? What are you doing well? Have you met those expectations? And if that's the case, then whatever they place is irrelevant to the point where, they themselves feel like they had a successful performance. Does that make sense?
Ditto.
We'll be looking forward to what the Battle High School Band has to offer in the next previous years.
Cool story, Mary. Battle recently made it to the finals of the Champion of Champions competition at Froh Field. Staying with music, Olivia Swearingen brings us a feature on a Rockbridge student with an amazing instrument of her own.
Piper Page has a lot to offer Rockbridge High School. She's an advanced student who is president of clubs like Student Coalition, Giving Girls Opportunities, and Project Linus. She's also one of the most talented performers Rockbridge has to offer. Piper has been performing for a long time, and she sure is good at it.
I've been performing pretty much since I was 5 years old. I sang in a talent show when I was 5 at my elementary school, and I didn't sing in public pretty much until I was 13 at the musical at Gentry Middle School. I played Motormouth Maybelle in Hairspray, and that was the first time I ever performed in public. My parents, the first time that they had ever seen me perform, that's pretty much how I got started. I kind of fell in love with performing from that musical.
Piper's teachers and advisors can't get over how driven and kind she is to everyone at all times.
Immediately, whenever I got here, I noticed her warmness and that she's so welcoming. And just her entire spirit is just of joy and of persistence, and she's driven like nobody I've ever met.
Even Piper's friends, who have known her for a very long time, can't get over just how talented she really is.
I've known Piper since I was in 8th grade. She's so incredibly talented, and it's almost hard to believe. She's so naturally talented, but she also works so hard for everything that she does. I love watching her sing and dance and do what she loves, and it's just amazing to watch her.
Pink and white and red were the colors in my hair, so she ate it with love. Piper sure is going places, and we are just happy to be along. What a great voice! Finishing off the news portion of our program is a showcase of homecoming week at Rockbridge High School. DJ captured the experience.
Rockbridge High School has a rich tradition of homecoming.
It is a week-long event that starts with theme days. Theme days are where students dress up to match the theme. Homecoming committee member Piper Page explains the process.
The student council meetings basically, once we have decided that like when it gets time to vote for a theme, we actually incorporate the theme days into the voting for the theme. So in order to like have a winning theme, we have to have a winning theme day.
With homecoming comes homecoming queen. Electing a queen comes a mini step. Ben Lawson goes into more detail.
What happens is we open, I guess the Google form basically, where you have to put down a name and who you want and the reasons why you want them to be nominated for it. And then we take that list into all the studies classes for seniors to vote on, and they get down to a top 10. But we had a survey on the website you can go to that you could have voted for whatever queen candidate you wanted.
Becoming a queen takes a lot of effort. Katie Clucking explains what it is to be a homecoming queen nominee.
It was a lot of fun. I really liked the entire week. Dressing up was cool. I liked coming up with costumes with my escort. All the girls were really nice, and it was nice to raise money for hurricane relief. The dance itself was fun. I really liked the football game.
Homecoming queen is announced at the football game on Friday, and this year Sydney Kent ended up winning.
The 2017 homecoming queen is Sydney Kent.
The last part of homecoming is the dance. The dance is from 7:30 to 10:30 on Saturday night, and it is a good way to end the week.
Good work, DJ. Now let's get to the sports segment of our show. First is Junior Nima with a feature on one of the key parts of the Rockbridge boys basketball team's success.
With the basketball season approaching, I talked with Rockbridge's varsity forward Quentin Brown about the upcoming season and more.
I just love the energy, playing here at Rockbridge and playing against talent here in Columbia. It's just so much different.
At 6'5" and a junior, Quentin is one of the tallest on the team and has plenty of potential, as expressed by head coach Jim Scanlon.
Quentin has a lot of potential. He's a little raw in areas. He came here a little bit behind. He's young for his age, but he's a great kid. Works hard, does the things you ask him to do, and I think he'll probably reach that potential someday. At least we hope so.
With his mom and sister being growth athletes, that is just more motivation for Quentin to be the best he can.
Yeah, my sister is just such a good athlete. She's such talented, and my mom is obviously an Olympic athlete, my dad and everything. And I think it's good motivation because I want to be as good as them.
He does the things that make him better. Now he's just got to take that to another level. But and I think he's matured as a person and a player.
And Quentin's main goal for this year?
I just get used to what the team is, kind of all about. I want to see what it's like for me fitting into this team, what it's like for fitting the new players into this team. But I would love to win a state championship.
And we will wait to see how good Quentin and the Bruins do this year. From CPS360, I'm Junior Nima.
Thanks, Junior. It should be an exciting season coming up. Our last story of the show is a feature from Katie Clucking on the Rockbridge girls basketball team.
Rockbridge girls basketball is preparing for another great season. With only a few more weeks until tryouts, the girls are going hard on the court and in the weight room. Addie Logston, a senior on the basketball team, tells us about the energy on the team.
Favorite part about practice is playing 5-on-5 because we get really hyped sometimes and it's really fun when we're playing really good. My favorite, what I'm looking forward to is the bus rides and winning.
Coach Jill Nagel tells us about what she looks to accomplish this season.
Now I think we got a good senior class that has been in the program for 4 years now and knows how to win, knows how to do things, and looking forward to their leadership and bringing on a big freshman class and bringing them along.
Peyton McAllister tells us about the friendships on the team and why it helps make the team better.
Well, this year I have all of my friends are on the team, and especially the seniors. All 5 of us are super close and they're my best friends, and everyone else is just as close, and it's going to help on the court because off the court we're so close, we understand and know where each other's going to be on the court.
How excited are you for basketball season?
So excited!
How excited are you for basketball season?
So excited! So excited!
Super pumped. Super excited. Oh my goodness.
Be on the lookout for our BHS girls basketball team in your Columbia Tribune.
Nice story, Katie. Good luck to the Lady Bruins this season.
Well, that's it for this episode of CPS 360. I'm Olivia Swearingen.
And I'm Matthew Rothmick. Thanks for watching and have a great day.